Hello everyone, welcome back to Fate Stay Night, Real Tenua, Fate. I have a secret that I haven't told you. I'm a Magi. 3 years after the death of his foster father, strange events begin happening in town, and he finds himself drawn into a battle between the Magi called Masters. Or as I like to call it, Fate Stay Night. We had the second greatest late title drop ever. Sorry, Nier still beats it out. And let's actually continue. We just got past this opening. So, first day, recollection of 10 years ago, morning rebirth. What is this? A Toho title? Let's go. Oh man, this whole thing so far has been... Oh, we're gonna get this again, so there was no point. I could have just hit new game. So, wait. If what's being said is true, is this saying that Archer is meant to be a blacksmith? And that's his whole... Because, spoilers, I know Unlimited Blade Works is his thing. Which would be interesting. I don't know. Okay, so this is... When I came to, I was in a burning field. I guess there was a big fire. The familiar town had turned to ashes, and it looked like the remains of a battlefield for a movie. Okay, so this is back when the town was first raised in the Fourth Holy Grail War. But that didn't last long either. The fire had died down by the time the sun rose. The tall wall of flame had shortened and most of the buildings had fallen. It felt strange, being the only thing in the place that still had its original form. I was the only one still alive around here. I must have been really lucky. My house was built in a very lucky spot. I don't know which it was, but the point is, I was the only one left alive. I felt that since I survived, I should live on. I started walking aimlessly, because I thought it would be dangerous to stay there. I wasn't really concerned about getting burned up like the people lying around me. Probably because, over and above not wanting to be like them, I had a stronger feeling in my mind. Still, I had no hope. It was already a wonder I was still alive, so I couldn't expect to be saved. I won't survive. Whatever happens, I won't be able to escape from this red world. It was such an absolute hell that even a small child could understand it. And I collapsed. Was it because there was no air? Was it because there was no function left in my body? Anyway, I collapsed and stared up at the clouded sky. Everything around me was burned up, and I could see many blackened, unmoving people. The dark clouds loomed overhead, telling me it would rain soon. Well, that's lucky, at least. That's good. The fire will be put out once it rains. In the end, I sighed deeply and looked up at the sky. Don't sigh deeply when it's the dark clouds and the smoke. You'll die, dude. I say to myself that it hurts. I say so on behalf of all the people who couldn't even say so. That was 10 years ago. After that, I was miraculously saved. My body survived, but all the other things about me burned up and were reduced to ashes. If you take away a child's parents, home, and all such things, there's nothing left for him. That's why there was only my body. I think it's just a simple story. In other words, in order to let my body live, my heart died. Oh, dang, dude. Sucks, my man. That sucks. I'm dreaming. Squint my eyes at the white light. So bright, I think. It was just light entering my eyes when I woke up, but I'm not used to it. I probably didn't even understand what the bright light meant. Indeed. When my eyes focus, I'm surprised. I'm lying on an unfamiliar bed in an unfamiliar room. I'm surprised, but the room is so white and clean that I feel safe. This is a younger male voice than I expected. I look around. This might still be 10 years ago. Okay. The room is big and there are many beds. A person is in each bed, and everyone seems to be hurt. Nothing feels ill in this room. Everyone who's hurt is someone who was saved. I relax and let my eyes wander. Outside the window, the bright blue sky was unbelievably beautiful. Like that, looks like it's shutting the blinds, which is really good. For a few days, I finally understood. I could clearly remember what happened in the past few days. Okay, so this is still in the past, okay. Even so, I was no different from a newborn baby. Not just a metaphor, it was close to the truth. Anyway, it was a terrible fire. I'd been saved from it, was in the hospital with my body wrapped up in bandages, and my parents were gone. I didn't get the situation, but I vaguely understood that I was alone. I think I understood quickly. Well, nothing but children in similar situations around me. All I could do was absorb the fact. After that, the man came, right when I was beginning to worry what would happen to me next. Came on the day my bandages were taken off and I was able to eat without help. Wrinkled clothing and uncombed hair. The man, a bit younger than the doctor, felt more like a big brother than a father. We are Shiro. A smile that seems to melt into the white sunlight. I think it was a suspicious voice, but a very kind voice. That's a tough question. Let me do a roll on my gacha and see if I get a good one to help determine it. The man was saying he could adopt me. When I asked him if he was a relative of mine, he said that he was just a stranger. He looked like an unreliable guy with no future. But it made no difference, as I knew nothing about either one, him or the orphanage. Honestly, I don't know, man. I've seen enough orphanages to know that's never the right path. So I decided to go with him. The guy quickly started packing my stuff. His packing wasn't very good, even in the eyes of a child. Then after making a big mess... Oh, this could be a big caveat. Is that okay? He turns to me lightheartedly and says, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess this might also be playing a bit off the idea that I think I heard, like, in Japan there was a folklore where it's like if you're a virgin by 30, you become a wizard. If you're by 40, you become a grand wizard. And by 50, you're then an archmage. He says it in a serious, exaggerated tone. It happened in an instant. Come to think of it now, I really was a child back then. I automatically believed those words. I guess I said so with bright eyes. Since that time, I became his child. Actually, I don't remember what I said back then. My father would always talk about that day. He would remember and retell the story again and again. So for my father, Emiya whoa, that one's gonna be fun. Kiritsugu. That might have been the happiest day of his life. So, I guess it was strange for my father to tell me he was a sorcerer, but I was strange as well for admiring that. And thus, I became an adopted son. My last name became Emiya. Emiya Shiro. When I said my name, I was really proud of having the same last name as I don't like that word, that name. Kiritsugu. That one is tough. I'm dreaming. A story from my childhood. It was when I finally convinced my father to make me a student, so that must have been about 8 years ago. When I was old enough to stay at home by myself, Kiritsugu started to leave the house on a regular basis. He would say in his normal tone that he would travel the world, and actually act on his words. That's how it was after that. It was normal for him to leave the house empty for a month, and he sometimes wouldn't come home for half a year. The Emiya house is a big Japanese-styled house, and Kiritsugu and I were the only ones living there. I was perplexed in this house at times as it was too big for a child. But still, I liked my life here. Emiya Kiritsugu, that's always a... would come home from his journeys and tell me lots of stories like a child. And the child who shared his last name would be at home waiting for those stories. I was always alone in the house, but that loneliness would fade with all the stories he brought back. The father who was always chasing his dreams like a kid. His attitude was astounding. He always seemed dazzling to me. Might be why I wanted to be like him someday. Well, on top of that, looking at my ever-dreaming father, I felt I should become reliable myself. That's a markedly crazy life you got there. Wait, this is before we're doing before the incident, huh? Fate stay night, one day. Hey, this is gonna be interesting. Wait, are we getting now text sounds? I hear a sound. No, I hear a heavy, old, rusty sound as the door opens. Light enters the dark shed. My mind waking up. Where are we? Feels the cold air and approaching footsteps. There she is. Where were we? Good morning, Sakura. Sakura seems more upbeat than usual today, as if she's happy about something. But why are you here so early? I answer her with a sleepy head. I don't know what I'm saying with my mind not fully awake. What does that mean? Sakura is giggling. Yeah, I guess my head was still dozing off and I said something weird. The cold outdoor air helps in situations like this. The chill works well to beat the sleepiness out of my head. In front of me is Meto Sakura, my junior at school. The place is a shed behind my house and the time is 6 o'clock. Why are you in a shed? Oh, did he just fall asleep in the shed? Sakura says so in a happy tone. It's unusual. Sakura seems to be in a really good mood this morning. What the heck is he making? Is our fly gonna be undone or something? What are we wearing? Or what are we not wearing? That said, I looked down at myself. I fell asleep while I was working, so I'm still wearing my overalls. Being my work clothes, the pretty... Oh, that's it? Really? That's it? Okay. Fine, being my work clothes are pretty dirty. I can't imagine what Fuji-nee would say to me if I went... Who's Fuji-nee yet? I don't know. Like, nee-san means sister, right? So, I'm in a house like this. Oh, Fujimura-sensei. Isn't that the teacher or something? Still trying to wrap my head around some of these characters. Sakura leaves. Well, I have to change into my school uniform and clear up this mess. The shed is built on the edge of our yard, and just as it seems, it's a warehouse we put all our junk in. But for me, it's a place of treasures. I've enjoyed messing with things since I was a kid. Father didn't allow me to go into the shed, but I always sneaked in here, and as a result, it became my base. For me, Emiya Shiro, I guess you could call this place my real room. The big Emiya household doesn't suit me, and I can only relax in this space full of junk. Oh, I get that. Most of the things in here are appliances that can't be used anymore. Did I bring all the junk in here because I like the place, or did I come to like it because of all the junk? Anyway, since I was always sneaking in here, it became my hobby to fix broken things. Alright, straight off the bat, this guy is way more developed than any anime or visual novel protagonist anyway. It's ridiculous. Already more character. It's not like I get attached to things. I think it just annoys me not to use things that can still be used. And just like that, I was fixing up this old stove all last night. Ah, that's what you're doing. I shake off the feeling of disappointment in myself. I gather up all the parts of the stove and put them on the shelf full of things waiting to be fixed. There are no spaces on the shelf full of things. Oh, there are no spaces on the shelf full of things awaiting repair. An old VCR awaits after the stove. I guess I'll ignore the fact that Fuji-nee broke both of them. I changed into my uniform. This place is like my room, and it holds changed clothes along with other things I need. It also has lots of blueprints and junk, the result of failures from when I do my own training. Also some kind of old design inscribed on the floor, like an altar of some kind, but we'll just ignore that because of course. Clapping my hands in a prayer to the shed, I head for the house. I emerge from the shed. The Emiya house is a Japanese-styled house on the outskirts of town. My father wasn't much of a respected person in town, but he somehow still had this huge house. That on its own is a mystery, but it also seems like he didn't have any relatives in Japan. That's why the house became mine and no one else's when my father died. Okay, he's dead. Though to be honest, I don't have that kind of management ability. Old man Fujimura is in charge of complicated things like inheritance and property taxes. Old man Fujimura is the big landlord in this neighborhood. According to my father, the old man's like a Yakuza boss. Oh, so you mean you have to punch him a bunch of times and use up all your items because for some reason getting those heat events on them is so difficult? Of course, this is just prejudice. He's not like an old Yakuza boss, he is a Yakuza boss. Well, that's a problem in and of itself, but I prefer to ignore it. We're just gonna gloss over that? Okay. Anyway, that's why I'm the only one living in this big house. It's been 5 years since father died. The days have passed quickly. I sigh thinking about how much I've grown in these 5 years. I've trained every day to be like Kiritsugu, but it's not that easy in reality. It's only natural because I had no talent to begin with, but what can be said about having no improvement at all in 5 years? To sum up the present in one sentence, my goal is so far away that I'm not even at the starting line yet. Yikes. Well, I guess it won't do any good to rush. For now, I'll have to do what I can. Well then, right now I should... Whoa! Oh no. Split 1. Help or clean? Okay. I didn't... Okay, well, I think for now, I'm gonna go and help Sakura. She needs some help. That's right, I have to go and help Sakura. I'd feel bad, both for letting my junior do all the work, and for Sakura coming here so early in the morning. Boy, I am gonna get so many bad endings, apparently. But I'm too late. It seems breakfast has already been made. I can smell the elegant scent of breakfast befitting Sakura. Sakura has finished cooking and is opening the cupboards. I can see all that she has left to do is set the table. What a nice kitchen. Apron. Wow, this is early. I bet you Japan absolutely loves this character, huh? For me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here, and sleeping in is making Sakura prepare breakfast on her own, like today. Though this has only been a habit for a year and a half or so, that's still a long time, my dude. I stand next to Sakura and take out the dishes. Sakura is stubborn at times, and in situations like this, she won't rest unless she's forced to. Oh, she's into those old style houses, I see.
これいつも美味しいご飯を食べさせてもらっているお返しなんです。だからできれば先輩にはゆっくりしていてほしいです。
食費だったら折半なんだからさくらが気にすることじゃない。感謝なんて言ったら俺がしたいぐらいだ。
Well, maybe
さくらが来てくれるようになってから飯が豪勢になったからな。
maybe Shiro should use HelloFresh, an online delivery service for food every week. Use the promo code. I wish I had a promo code right here for $30 off your first box. I've actually been using it and it's helping me to cook, and man, it is awesome.
やっぱり先輩分かってなかったんですね。先輩のお家のご飯が美味しいのはそういうことじゃないんです。
This is so like she's obviously saying she likes us
どういうことだ?
because she's putting love in the dish.
いえ、
She's blushing.
何でもありません。けど責任取ってくださいね。
Whoa, okay, stop.
私先輩の家じゃないとご飯を美味しくいただけなくなっちゃったんですから。
I don't like when it has to dim and then they change and then they go back because it's like no, I'm not finished reading the text.
バカ、おかしなこと言う。Fuji-neeに聞かれたらどうするんだ。あの人には冗談なんて通じないんだから。
そうですね。藤村先生に聞かれたら大変です。
まったくだ。あんまりおかしなこと言うな。
はい、言いません。言いませんからお手伝いしていいですよね、先輩。
Sakura looks up at me naturally and
いい
calmly.
よ、好きにしろ。そんなにやりたきゃさくらに任せる。
はい、好きにします、私。
まったく、本当に最近言うこと聞かなくなったよな、さくら。
ですね。藤村先生に似てきたのかもしれません。
Speaking softly, Sakura reaches up for the cupboard. Her silky hair. Whoa, dude. Her silky hair and smooth skin catch my eye. How can I put this? It's troubling. She must be maturing as she seems really feminine these days. That is a horrible sentence, my dude. Her casual movements and her figure is so beautiful that I instinctively look away. Freak.
どうかしましたか?
いや、どうもしてない。どうもしてないから気にしないでくれ。
Honestly, why am I feeling tense around my friend's sister? Sakura is a good underclassman, and in junior I need to take care of. She's the sister of a close friend of mine, but since she's a grade below me, we weren't that close. It all changed a year and a half ago into this cooperative kind of relationship. Sakura came to cook when I was injured, and after that, I think we just ended up like this. Like an old married couple. I think we intended to do it until my injury healed up, but some trivial thing came up to make her stay with it. Anyways, Sakura's a good cook and perfect at cleaning and doing the laundry. She's almost like a servant. It's a big help to have her around in these mornings. It's been troubling recently. Oh man, we're gonna see huge shenanigans with Saber being like, no master, I must cook and clean for you. And Sakura's like, is there another girl in the house? I'll murder her because you're mine, Shiro-kun. The problem is not in Sakura, but me. Look at her just with the ladle, and maybe I'm just feeling guilty about being attracted to my friend's sister. Dude, it happens. Don't worry, it happens. Usually I'm fine, but when I'm caught off guard just like now, I blush. Does this make me an unsuitable senpai? Oh no, you're showing emotions and needs? How disgusting. Breakfast is placed on the table. A perfect breakfast consisting of chicken salad, cooked salmon, spinach radish, and carrot miso soup, and yam soup. Oh my god, that... Okay, real talk. I hate breakfast. I do. I think breakfast is the worst. I can't eat that early and all breakfast foods taste gross and... But this sounds so heavenly. So it's a spinach radish and carrot miso soup. Okay, and yam soup. That sounds divine. Show me the food. Itadakimasu, rub-a-dub-dub, let's eat this grub. Sakura and I bow and start our meal quickly. Amazing they don't translate itadakimasu. I am honestly always intrigued by how people translate itadakimasu, because there's been thank you for this meal, there's been bon appetit, there's been like a lot of them, right? But in this one, they're like, nah, it's fine. If you're playing this, you're already so deep in the weeb hole, you know exactly what itadakimasu is. Sounds of our chopsticks echo. Sakura isn't the talkative type, and I'm not versatile enough to talk while eating. Naturally, mealtimes are quiet. Usually it's louder, but today the loud person is. Here she is. She must have been watching spy movies last night. I'm sorry, what? As she's eyeing us behind a newspaper. So, why is she here? We still don't know yet. Fuji-nee ignores Sakura's question. She's acting weird, but Fuji-nee always acts in suspicious ways during breakfast. Sakura must be used to it as she continues to eat with no particular care. Sakura prefers to make Western meals. What? That is not Western. She learned to cook Japanese food after she started coming here to help. Fuji-nee and I preferred Japanese, so Sakura learned to make Japanese food for our breakfast. Now she's so good that she's almost surpassed me, her teacher. Her miso soup is tasty, and she's shown capacity for making even yam soup by grinding yams. Actually, I think this is the first time she's made it.
Sakura, 醤油取って。
はい。で、大変です先輩。先輩のお醤油は昨日で切れてます。
How awkward.
じゃあ、藤根のでいいや。取って。
Wait, what? Individual soy sauces?
藤村先生、いいですか?
Fuji-nee nods. Her newspaper trembles.
はいどうぞ。とろろ汁に使うんですか?
Oh my god, is she gonna pour it for us?
とろろには醤油だろう、普通。
Do you? Do you now? I don't know. That sounds good though, I would eat that. I put the soy sauce onto the white yam soup. Wait a gosh dang minute. White yam? Isn't yam orange? Am I crazy? I imagined an orange soup. Probably white yam might be different. After stirring it, I put it on the rice and take a bite. The stickiness of the yam and the taste of the soy sauce. This is oyster sauce? Oh! That's awkward. But honestly, it still wouldn't be that bad. No, it would be if you put in a lot. Oh, we got pranked. Ashton Kutcher over here. Fuji-nee throws her newspaper away, cementing the fact that she is in fact best girl. Why are you such a horrible person? You're the best. The female spy throws up her arms to show her happiness. Look at her. God, what an old woman. Oh yeah, kitty face! She is the best. She is.
みんなと一緒になってお姉ちゃんをいじめるやつには当然の天罰ってところかしら。
天罰ってのは人為的なもんじゃないだろう。なんかおとなしいと思ったら昨日からこんなこと考えてやがったのか。
そうだよ。おかげでこれから急いでテストの採点しなくちゃいけないんだから。そういうわけで急がないとやばいのだ。
God, she's just me. It's too real. Fuji-nee sits back down and finishes her breakfast quickly. Wow, she is just... Oh. Also, this would be super illegal to have happen. Have a student come over to the... It wouldn't happen here. And she runs off. There's something wrong with a world in which that thing is a teacher. I'm hurt.
すまない。せっかくの朝食だっていうのに、藤根のやつ、ろくに味わいもしないで。
Yeah, but it's fine. She got a sick prankin'.
いえ、そういうのではなくて、昨日藤村先生に何かしたんですか？食べ。
いや、 や、それがさ、昨日つい。
Oh, that's awkward.
それじゃあ仕方ありませんね。先輩、藤村先生に謝らなかったんでしょう。
面目ない。いつものことなんで忘れてた。
ダメですよ。藤村先生、先輩にあだ名を言われるのだけは嫌がるんですから。また泣かせちゃったんでしょう。
泣かした上にダットのごとく走り去らせた。おかげで昨日の英語は自習だった。
That's a little intense for that to be a thing, but okay. And I was awarded a student honor written on note paper, but I threw it away.
もう、それじゃあ、今朝のは先輩が悪いです。
Fuji-nee is like a big sister for Sakura, so she's basically on Fuji-nee's side. That's good in its own way, but I wish she'd consider my situation where I have to deal with Fuji-nee 24/7. Here we go. Fuji-nee was originally an acquaintance of Father's, and she's been coming to the house a lot since I was adopted. She started to show up even more after Father died. She's now almost independent, eating breakfast and dinner here. No, maybe she's why I was able to make it on my own even after my father died. I see. Fuji-nee, Sakura, and I are now the residents of the Emiya household, none of us related by blood, which means it's fine for all sorts of wacky shenanigans that would ensue in the original version of the game, which we're not playing. But I'm the only one who knows that my father was a magus. It's said that magi must hide their identities. That's why I've been hiding the fact that I'm learning magic ever since I became my father's student. Why did it skip like that? I say I'm learning, but I can't even cast a single magic spell properly. With this kind of skill, it wouldn't make much difference whether I hide it or not. But because it was how my father wanted things, I've trained secretly since then. Well, not secret enough that Rin was able to know. I finish breakfast and prepare for school. I clean the dishes with Sakura while listening to the news on TV. Sakura is staring at the TV screen. Over the screen runs an exaggerated teletype reading, "Gas leak accidents continue." Seems there was a big accident in the neighboring town of Shinto. It happened in a building in the business district. It seems a whole floor of people ran out of oxygen and fell unconscious. That sounds very similar to a certain incident that Lancer was able to, or a certain move that Lancer had. They called it a gas leak, but this kind of accident is happening often
今の
recently.
ニュース気になるのか、さくら。
いえ、別に。ただ、事故が
Oh,
シント
we
で
have a
起きているなら
workplace.
近いなって。先輩、シントの方でアルバイトしています
This
よね。
protagonist is way more built up than I thought.
してるけど、別にそんな大きな店じゃないよ。今のニュースみたいな事故は起きないと思う。
But it's not a risk I can completely ignore. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and on top of that, it hurts to think of hundreds of people are suffering. It's said that the accidents are happening often because of the defective construction work during the rapid development of Shinto. Whether that's true or not, I certainly don't want any more victims.
物騒な話だ。俺たちも気をつけないと。
あ、それならご心配なく先輩。ガスの元栓はいつも2回チェックしてますから安心です。
Sakura boasts with
い
pride.
や、そういう話でなくて。
Yeah, I've thought so before, but Sakura's a bit off too.
先輩、裏手の戸締まりはしました？
したよ。缶抜きかけたけど、問題あるか？
ありません。それじゃあ鍵かけますね。
Wow, you are
先輩、
just like a
今日の
wife.
お帰りは何時ですか？
And I mean that in both the good and bad ways, mostly the good.
少し遅くなると思う。さくらは？
私はいつも通りです。多分私の方が早いと思いますから、夕食の下準備は済ませておきますね。
うん、助かる。俺もできるだけ早く帰るよ。
We lock the gate. Sakura and Fuji-nee also have keys to my house, and the rule is that the last person out locks up. That's, I feel, a good
行
rule.
こうか。急がないと朝練に間に合わない。
はい。それじゃあ少しだけ急ぎましょうか、先輩。
It's gonna be weird. We're gonna see the entire thing from last time from another perspective. We walk down to the town together, passing through the long wall and going downhill until we reach the residential district. My house is on top of the hill, far away from the center of town. Going down the hill takes us to the residential district, and beyond that, we reach the crossroads at the center of this town. Oh, hello. From here, there are many roads. A big bridge leading to the neighboring city. A hill road that leads to Ryudu Temple. Residential district on the other side of town. Shopping district Sakura and I always use. The school we're headed to right now. That's a town. That's a good town. We head for the school without stopping elsewhere. Since it's still 7 o'clock, there aren't many things on this road. Other than us, all you can see are a few others heading to their morning practices.
それじゃあまたな。部活頑張れよ。
I part with Sakura at the school gate like usual. Sakura's in the archery club, so we have to part here in the mornings. But today, Sakura doesn't go.
さくら、体の調子悪いのか。
いえ、そういうことじゃなくて、その先輩、たまには道場の方に寄っていきませんか？
いや、別に道場に用はないぞ。それに今日は一斉に頼まれてるから生徒会室に行かないとまずい。
そうですよね。ごめんなさい。余計なことを言っちゃって。
Sakura bows.
それじゃあ失礼します。晩ご飯楽しみにしていてくださいね。
Hey, gonna be real? That death flag of mine is slowly cranking up. I don't know, man. I'm feeling it. Sakura runs off like she's ashamed of something. Huh? I wonder what that was all about. Just make this character Tim Allen just every time he has a question mark.
一斉、いるか？
Alright, I think this is a good place to call it. We'll be checking out the student, what's it called? Student council room next time, guys. So we'll see you then as we approach that one fateful night where our fate was stayed at night. Rialta Nua. We'll see you then, guys. Ciao. The worst title I've come up with yet. See you guys next time. Ciao.